Alrighty, so now we've got our nav table, it's got our images, and there's a little bit of a glitch because the images are sitting outside of our nav a little on the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and push those up, and we're gonna add some spacing to that table. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and open up Dreamweaver into our pages. So we're gonna look at this, and you can see here that our images are sitting slightly outside that nav. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our table tag. Our table by default has a little bit of spacing in it, and that spacing is so that the text and the content doesn't sit directly on the edge of the table and it has some space. We want to eliminate that. There are two settings inside of a table that kind of create some space. There's cell spacing and cell padding. Cell spacing is the space between cells, and cell padding is the space around the content inside the cell. And we want to eliminate both. So we're going to go ahead and add cell spacing as an attribute, set that to 0, as well as cell padding, and set that to 0. And when we do that, we hit refresh, and now they're sitting directly in there. But there is a little bit of space out here outside of contact, and we want this to span the whole width of this section. You can see here 450 isn't making it span, so let's try 450 pixels. And refresh that and see if it will span out, and it does not. So we need to do a little bit of math. We have 6 images, and they're at 50 pixels each. So 6 times 50 would be 300, which means we have 150 pixels left over. The space in between, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So with 150 pixels left, we're going to divide that by 5 to equal out 30 pixels each, so we can create a space of 30 pixels on each of these blank cells. It's going to be a really quick setting, and we're going to do it inside of this cell TD because we only want the width to apply to this cell, a width equal to 30 pixels. When you do that and you click refresh, you'll see that it will actually span out the correct amount. Now let's take that and let's copy it over and paste it into each blank TD cell inside of our table. Refresh that, and now we have a perfectly width for our table and a spacing that's equal between each of these photos, and it goes all the way across the 450 pixels of your nav. Don't forget to go File, Save All, so we can do the next lesson.